So how are you guys doing today? And today I'm gonna be reacting to the MLP Friendship is Shiny, and apparently this was actually a request and I was not gonna do it because like shit's literally 54 minutes, nearly an hour. So reacting into one video was actually impossible, and I was like not going to give myself much for like 2 parts at least. But I saw this guy comment on it and want me to react to it, and well, why not? Since this guy asked, why not I do it anyway. Let's go. MLP Friendship is Shiny Infection AU, and I'm gonna be cutting it into 2 parts apparently. I'm gonna be reacting about 20 to 25 minutes on the first run, and I'm gonna be reacting to the next 25 and 26 minutes the next part. So y'all just gonna see 25 minutes max. So let's get into it, see what's up. Oh, and this is by Orcio or whatever. I can't read his name like last time I told y'all, but let's just get into it. Make sure to go subscribe to him, and I'll put the link of the actual video down in the description so you guys can go react to it yourself. So let's get into it now.
A bunch of you guys have told me to check out this My Little Pony AU called My Golden Pony Friendship is Shiny, created by Going Gold on TikTok. And
I bet. Let's do this.
I avoided this one at first because it didn't look scary at first glance, but once I actually read it, I realized that it is way darker than I thought, and it's different from many of the other infection AUs that we've covered thus far. This AU actually starts off with a future version of AJ speaking to us, trying to recall how this infection first started. And we learned that it has something to do with this new makeup brand called Golden Gleam by Mycota. And while AJ has never been big on makeup, most of the other ponies are to varying degrees, with Rarity being #1. And based on this panel here,
obviously Rarity with those makeup fucking addiction shit,
their friendship forever.
The fucking,
and with that knowledge, we cut back to 10 months previous to see how this whole ordeal began.
It's like a flashback of
this original character named Mycota, which for nerds like me, you know, means like Kingdom Fungus, which will play a huge role in this AU. Apparently, Mycota is a pop idol in Canterlot and has come out with this makeup
brand with the golden pony that nurse,
which takes the form of a powder that people can actually put on their face, or in this case, ponies can put all over their body. I imagine that it's very similar to the makeup that women use nowadays to kind of like fix their complexion or make it a certain tone. At the end of this chapter, we learn that
everyone was do some fake reality check things,
AJ comes into the room to put a stop to it, not wanting her sister to get caught up in this fad. But judging by the look in Mycota's eye here, I think that you can tell that something is definitely off with her.
I mean, shit. If you actually see, see that shit? Her eyes aren't even natural. Her eyelashes ain't even natural. And you're looking at me like this, and if like people actually make dumb decisions. Like actually, the matter of fact is, dumb people are actually way more than you actually think. There is only 20% of actual smart people not doing shit. And there is apparently 80% of dumb people who actually do shit. But either way, the 80% somehow convinces some of the smart ones, coming into 50% of smart people actually.
Look at Mycota's eye here.
So yeah,
I think that you can tell that something is definitely off with her. Chapter 3 starts with releasing 3 new Golden Gleam powders.
What the fuck did I just say?
Lyra has already invested into some of it. And I noticed that even when Bonbon is trying to tell her that Mycota has been acting kind of weird.
This is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Like, they literally infect the 5% of at least smart people out there, which is fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so apparently my internet got disconnected wildly.
Mycota has been acting kind of weirdly.
Yeah.
Lyra just keeps speaking as if she didn't even hear her. To my surprise, Bonbon doesn't seem to be interested in this new product at all, saying that she's lost all respect for Mycota after the interview the other night.
Yeah, the way she's staring at people.
Clearly done with this conversation, Lyra lets out a sneeze, and I noticed that little golden specks, or likely spores, are floating in the air.
So you're eating the powder or like putting it on?
Thinking that Lyra is allergic to the product. I think this may be one of the ways that this infection could possibly spread.
Why'd you put the
Before
coronavirus?
Anything else can happen with Lyra, she sees another pony shining just like her, fully taking her attention away from Bonbon, and also letting us know that a lot of ponies are likely using this product now.
Yeah, a lot of dumb people.
In chapter 4, we learned that the other ponies have started catching on to how weird Mycota has been acting, and they also highlight that her name used to be Micah. And the name change was relatively recent to go with this new.
She's kind of beautiful, though. I can't lie about that. It's like a
package.
It's like a, I don't know. There's something about her. I think there's a model or something. I don't know.
This product, but was promptly rejected. Which at the very least may mean that Luna and Celestia will be free of the infection, or at least free for a little while.
They're not. They're little divas. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing this bullshit. But there is also a thing in My Little Pony, since most of the like the characters are actually drawn the same. For example, you can just see they're just drawn the same with different colors and different hairlines. So they're practically all the same. And what's the problem here is that in the actual show, you can tell when someone pisses you off or someone does not. And since the models in this are different, I think
After that,
Lara looks kind of okay, you know?
And they're actually defended Makoto, saying that everything they've heard is
getting to your brain.
Fake, disgusting news.
And also showcasing that as a pop star, Makoto definitely has some diehard fans, which may end up being an issue in the future. Next, we see Rarity 78 pop into the chat room, and she's telling the group how much she loves the new product.
Of course you do.
Even more evidence of this diehard fan base. Now, when we move over to chapter 5, we see Twilight is in her home calling for Spike, asking if he's ready to go to Angel's party. But Spike is in a bit of distress because he realized that a bunch of stuff is missing from the home, almost as if somebody's broken in. But Twilight just dismisses this idea, saying that they probably just misplaced some stuff. And while this could be true, based on Spike's face here, I don't think that actually is going to be the case. Now, a bit later in the day, we see a...
y'all acting differently, bro. Robbing people just because you put some golden gleam on your ass's face. Like, that's insane.
But they're waiting for Fluttershy, Angel, and Rarity to show up. And the first thing that
they're already breaking in.
Shy arrives is that she has a golden gleam about her, which is a telltale sign that she.
I did not know Fluttershy was gonna put this shit on.
When AJ actually goes to ask her about it, we see that Shy gets embarrassed.
I didn't know fucking Fluttershy put makeup on.
And runs out of the party, saying that she would never use the stuff, which is clearly a lie. And while Pinky tells AJ to go easy on her, I don't think that she was actually trying to be mean here. The last thing that we see in this chapter is AJ looking out the window at something glowing brightly. And we learn very quickly that this glowing figure is actually Rarity.
Rarity always pisses me off for some reason.
Showing off her new clothes.
I don't know why. It's just natural sense that comes to me.
AJ to I don't know what it is. Private meeting where she asks Rarity if she's going gold, which I think is the term that the ponies are using when they apply too much of this makeup product. And while Rarity assures her that she has it under control,
she doesn't even listen.
I think that she is one of the ponies most likely to go overboard, especially since she can be a little vain.
She's already putting some more, bro. Are we kidding?
In the town market buying some carrots.
And Derpy put some too? God damn it.
The shop clerk and is telling AJ how good her coat would look if she used a little bit of the golden gleam. Even going as far as to try to give her...
Yeah, Applejack is the last one I've seen putting some makeup on. She doesn't even put regular makeup. You can't even see her put on some lipstick. That's just like last thing.
And for me, this is a huge red flag because I think this is going to be the way that this infection probably spreads.
Unless people are smart, which they're not. Yeah, still like an idiot.
Luckily, AJ gets the creeps from the clerk and she just takes her carrots and heads home. Now, once she's at the dinner table with her family, Apple Bloom starts talking about how Sweetie Belle is going to let her use some of her makeup tomorrow.
Hey,
and of course, AJ freaks out a little bit.
Kids put makeup too? I mean,
off with the creator
nowadays people do, but like, I don't know about these days.
But since she is a young girl, Apple Bloom wants to participate in a new trend. So even though her sister begs her not to, you can tell that she is still thinking about it here. And just to prove AJ's point, in the next chapter, we see that Bonbon has finally convinced Lyra to use the makeup. And in some of these panels, she looks absolutely insane, as if the makeup is doing more than simply changing the color of her coat.
She looks like she's melting.
And we also get confirmation that the more you use this makeup, the more golden your coat becomes, which seems to be Lyra's plan here.
Of course.
Now, back over with AJ,
I can't read that. I couldn't read that. God damn it.
See if she can find more information about this new beauty product after doing some of her own research.
Okay, Detective Applejack. Let's see what we got.
Is called Arum Mycota, which is actually a real thing.
Too much of a hard name. I'm not even going to remember that.
Fungus that has a symbiotic relationship with a plant. But AJ doesn't really understand what that means, which is why she has come to Twilight Library.
Like, what's dumb here is that they actually know it's some kind of infection. Like, it's fungus. Fungus is never good. In what world is fungus a good thing around people? Which is not good, by the way. Even if it's just on plants, that makes no fucking sense. You gotta keep away from these fungus thingies. But the fact that they know it's a fungus and they still put it on and do not give any mind is crazy to me. Like,
to get more information.
Shit's undeniable.
And luckily, Spike is able to locate the book in a matter of seconds. Funny thing to note here is that he found this book under one of the bookcases a few days ago, almost as if somebody was trying to hide it. But I think we'll come back to this point a little bit later. Now that AJ has
okay,
this
there's some
look, she's ready
detective
to go
spying
back to her
shit
farm
going
and
on
do
right
some
now. This
studying.
ain't even a
But she
fucking.
does ask Twilight to join her because
This
she
ain't even a
thinks that
fucking
she'll be a
infection
great
at you.
help in
This
this
is
research.
this shit
But
insane.
Twilight has to refuse because she's waiting for a package. Turns out that Rarity has not only offered to give Twilight a sample of the new makeup, but she is sending it to every pony in Ponyville, which makes me think that my theory is correct, that whatever this infection is definitely going to be spreading once you put on that makeup. AJ...
Yo, Rarity going overboard with this shit. It's like, you know what? Fuck all y'all. I'm gonna get infected. Y'all gonna get infected. I'm gonna send it to every single pony in the fucking Ponyville. Like, everyone's getting infected today. Y'all gotta use this shit. Like, that's insane.
Clearly uncomfortable
Get arrogance.
Idea, but there isn't really anything else that she can do except go research.
Arrogance.
Next, we have chapter 10, and this one was very interesting.
I think my Coda's
another
PR
chat
team is
room
using
with the topic
pre-existing
10,
footage.
My Coda went missing.
For
and a lot of the fans believe
promotions
that my
and
Coda's
stuff.
PR team is using old interviews of her so that her fan base doesn't panic.
Oh,
we
so
also
it's
see
like,
that the paparazzi was able to get some pictures of her before she disappeared, and it looks like she is literally melting. But if that wasn't bad enough, we also get this video giving us a even better look at the makeup running down her face while she is crying and looking at the camera. At one point, it looks like she is speaking directly to the audience as she screams for help before the video cuts out. And this kind of makes me think that maybe even my Coda didn't know the effect that this makeup would have.
I mean, if the footage that she showed for the fucking trailer was from before, that means...
The next scene cuts back over to Rarity, and of course she has gone overboard with using this powder.
Why are you using it so much?
More on
that the vein on her, you know, head means that she's pissed. About what? Isn't that enough? You're literally glowing, and she's like, no, not enough. She put some more.
Body. And now we can see that she is even starting to bleed, but I can't tell if this is just in her mouth or if it's coming from deeper in her body. And honestly, I hate that I was right.
Just go fuck yourself at that point. Yeah, die.
But I kind of knew it was going to happen. And to make matters worse, we see that she did actually end up sending some of her makeup to Twilight. But surprisingly,
please, Twilight, stay away.
And says that he has a bad feeling about this product. He even states that he recently saw Rarity, and she doesn't look like herself.
If a character in fiction has a bad feeling, there's always a bad thing about it.
He doesn't even think that that pony he saw was the real Rarity.
There's not a single scenario where there isn't anything.
She's at least...
And there's some scenarios, for example, the character has a bad feeling, and then it goes on, he learns that he was wrong, but then after he actually realizes he's wrong, the next day he realizes that he was actually right, and he does have a bad feeling about it, and it was actually a bad thing.
Willing to stop and listen.
It's like normal. It's like a normal thing.
I hope means that we'll actually get an AU.
I wish they know they were fictional characters so they can take a part in this. But anyway,
we get some real information about the Arum Mycota. The first piece of information being that it is indeed a fungus, but it's also so beautiful that it looks more like a golden flower. And since this fungus is invasive, it is all over Equestria. And just as we suspected, when the fungus is turned into a powder, it can be toxic in high doses, binding onto the skin and then slowly piercing through until it gets into the
Send
blood.
This to Twitter. Everyone's going to see
it. It will make its way to the brain, and once there, it can take control of the host. Very similar to Cordyceps in The Last of Us, or the Hungry virus in the novel The Girl with All the Gifts, if you guys have read that one. Or I guess seen the movie. Next, we get to see the
I'll read that. Actually, really interesting.
And at stage 1, the pony is pretty much unchanged. The only symptoms that they have are a runny nose and maybe a slight cough. But if they keep using the makeup, they'll move over to stage 2, and this is where obvious signs of fatigue and irritation will occur.
What the fuck? To hide this, actually brings actual sickness. Just don't use the makeup. Like, what the fuck?
Of their infection.
What is this shit? It's like you're eating an expired shit, and it's making you feel bad. And you kind of, you know, people realize when they're doing something and it's making their body act all wrong. If you, for example, you don't like hot water, or maybe let's just be more presentable and be, you know, make sense. If you can't take a cold shower, you take a few cold showers and then you notice that you're allergic to it. So you just stop. These guys, these ponies, they see that they have some shit, and then you use more. Like, bro, what? Makes no sense. Make that shit make sense.
Also causing thinning of the hair.
How come people be so dumb?
Popping up
I guess they really are horses, because that is just stupid.
Start to take over the
matter of fact, horses are actually pretty intelligent if you actually think about it.
What the host would normally do. And this is really bad news because that means that if the ponies are not aware of the fungus or simply not really paying attention, an infected pony can blend in for a long period of time, which means a greater chance of other ponies getting infected. The only reason Spike was able to clock Rarity is because he has known her for so long and can tell that she was kind of off. The one piece of good news here is that at this stage, the ponies can still
it's literally Twitter
from the fungus, which is what I think we saw with
no one in Ponyville has like social media.
That there's no cure as of now. Unfortunately, the last few pages were ripped out of this book, but at this point, AJ, who was the pony reading the notes, has seen enough to know that she needs to warn all her friends and especially her little sister.
Wow.
The first pony that AJ tries to find was Pinkie Pie, but she was not in her shop at the time. And I also want to point out that both of these ponies here are wearing makeup, but they still seem to be in the early stages of the infection. Next, AJ moves over to Shy's cottage. And I'm really worried about her because we know that she was one of the first ponies in town to start using the makeup. But just like, Pinkie,
she's dead.
She's nowhere to be found either. After that, AJ goes to find Dashie, and the same
she doesn't put any makeup.
Her home
oh my god, she put some makeup on. There's no way.
That she goes is to Rarity's house, and this is where she finds all three ponies together, and they are all shining. Ooh. And you can tell by AJ,
even Pinkie Pie,
she knows something might be wrong, and she definitely should have followed her instincts because once she actually enters this room, Rarity closes the door behind her, telling AJ that it's time for her to join the fun. And as we can see, Rarity is deep in the infection, so much so that she is bleeding through the
kill her.
Next, we see Rarity tell AJ that she and the other ponies have been trying different shades of golden gleam.
God
and now
damn
it's
it,
time for her to get some for herself. And honestly, I was surprised to see that the other ponies in the room have been trying to
get away from you, fucking weirdo.
Rarity has been holding them hostage, even tying Rainbow's wings. I assume that they were all under the control of the
fact that they're just standing there, like, look, they're not even bothered. They're like, yeah, it's no problem. We're just holding us hostage. You know, it's like no big deal.
And I'm happy to see that I was wrong about that.
What is this shit?
Now, luckily, when Rarity is trying to push the bronze golden onto AJ, she tells her that she would rather have the iridescent one, causing Rarity to go upstairs and grab some. This gives AJ time to grab these papers off the table, which I assume are going to give us more stages of the infection, and then she and the other ponies are able to run out of the house before Rarity returns.
What a fucking
but
dumbass
they are still not safe at this point, because as we see here, a bunch of ponies in the street are infected with the fungus, and they are all trying to get AJ to use the product. And they are getting more and more angry at the fact that she keeps refusing. As we move over to
I just don't want makeup. Do all women have to put makeup on? Like, bro, get away.
And as I suspected, it is more.
Did I just stutter again? The last video I stuttered.
We get to see that at stage 4 of the infection, the fungus is in full control of the brain, and ponies at this stage are usually completely golden. At this point, the pony no longer needs to put on the makeup and focuses mostly on trying to act as much like the host as it can. The pony will also start having internal bleeding, lose their ability to fly, and possibly lose their ability to use magic. Stage 5 is the final stage of the infection, and once they get to this level, their system pretty much completely shuts down, and the fungus will leave the host in order to find a fresh body. Sadly, once the fungus exits the body, the pony will pass away, and the body will start to rot, turning into golden goop. And out of that puddle of golden goop,
I thought they were gonna live.
The fungus will
I was like, bro, don't worry about it. They just let them just stay and they'll, grow out of it.
Now,
and
if
shit.
all that wasn't bad enough,
but I guess
also
not.
learned that the fungus is airborne, which means that if an infected pony is in the same room as a clean pony, there is a possibility that they can start the process of the infection. We also learned that while there is no cure for the infection, if ponies stop using the makeup early on and quarantine for at least 48 hours, they can stop the spread before it can get into the bloodstream. But once the ponies are at stage 3, it is too late for them to actually be saved. With this new information, it becomes clear to the ponies that Rarity is likely the one that ripped the pages out of the book, and also the one that broke into Twilight's home to try to hide information about the fungus.
Oh my god, she just broke in just to hide the information. That's insane.
All along, but more importantly, confirming that Rarity has been fully taken over by the fungus.
Gotta kill her. Come on. I'm gonna take her life.
We see the ponies panicking a little bit because most of them have used the makeup already and are not sure if they are too far gone yet or not. But what's worse is the fact that there is a knock on the door. And we see a bunch of infected ponies outside Twilight's home.
Rarity's the leader, obviously.
The golden gleam, since she's the only pony in town that hasn't used it thus far, outside of
Wait, Fluttershy and people tried it?
Twilight, I think. And this scene would almost be funny if we didn't know how serious this situation actually is. As more and more infected gather around outside, AJ tells the group that they need to make it to her farm. And Twilight, having no other choice, tries to teleport the whole group.
So apparently everyone's infected, and except for Applejack, Twilight, and the princesses. Basically 5. In order to be safe,
Dash, Pinky, and Shy will have to be quarantined in the farm's basement. We also see that Apple Bloom is pretty devastated with everything going on, especially
did you use it?
That one of her best friends
I feel like she
is likely infected now.
What do I feel like
After that, we get to see some more stat sheets, and I'm happy to see that the entire Apple family is still clean of the infection and have also managed to fortify the farm.
I mean, the old one doesn't really use makeup, so I don't really worry about that one. Yeah, Apple Bloom's kind of suspicious, but anyway.
At least a time. We also get to see each
Apple
of the
Bloom is
other
devastated.
ponies, and while Twilight is a bit
Why is her health 98?
So much of her magic, she is free of the infection and in good health overall. The same can be said for Spike, and honestly, I'm happy to see that he has survived this long. AJ, on the other hand, is in shock, but overall, she's still in good health.
Did they get hit or something?
Her big issue is that she can't figure out how to comfort Apple Bloom. Next, we see that Pinkie Pie is at stage 1 of the infection, alongside Rainbow Dash.
Why did you use it?
Fluttershy is actually at stage 2.
That makes no sense. These 3 never use makeup. They're not the person to use makeup. Not she. Yeah, she does not use makeup. Not at all. Fluttershy was the last person I would think of using a makeup, and for fuck's sake, even
considering that she's been using
Rainbow
Dash
Dash
for much longer.
Did Rainbow Dash use?
Is that
I feel
all
like
of them
she
should
did.
be able to be saved if they stop using the product now. In the next chapter, we see Pinky, Dash, and Rainbow in the basement trying to come up with a plan for what to do next. And they decide that once they've quarantined, Dash is going to go over to Cloudsdale and see if any of the Pegasus are uninfected. But when they try to talk to Fluttershy about it, she simply says that she has to get back home to take care of her critters, especially since she let Angel use some of the Golden Gleam. And she doesn't really care that the town is full of infected ponies because her guilt is outweighing her fear, at least as of right now. And while Pinky tries
that
to
is not
assure
what's
her
going
that
on.
it isn't her fault,
She's getting
Shy
taken
is
over by the
convinced that it's
fucking
her responsibility
bullshit.
to make sure all the critters survive. Seeing that there isn't much that they can say to convince her, the ponies decide to go to bed. But as they're falling asleep, we see a small fungus growing in a corner of the room, which means that this farm is definitely not as safe as the ponies thought it was.
There's nothing in there for a flower to grow on.
Pop up featuring Makoto, and she is telling the public that she is not actually missing, but rather the videos floating around the internet are all fake, and she is not involved with them at all. She goes on to speak about how disgusted she is with people playing this prank and tells ponies to do more research in the future before believing everything they see on the internet. And while the video is kind of convincing, I like that AJ and Twilight are not falling for it, especially after everything that they've seen in the last few days.
That is
the
insane.
only thing that confuses me is that Twilight
the fact that it actually could be an actual episode, but since it has infection and shit, it's not possible.
I would have to disagree. She looks absolutely wicked. Later that day, we see that Dashie has come back from Cloudsdale, and unfortunately, every pony she saw was completely infected. Pinkie Pie, on the other hand, went out to the city center, and she
none of them were at stage 1. They were all at stage 3. That's insane.
Mayor is also infected and covering her entire home in the makeup. And even though Twilight has been trying to reach out to Celestia, she still hasn't responded. Although, I don't think that Luna or Celestia are vain enough to actually use the makeup. So I'm holding out hope for them. Next, we see that Twilight.
Imagine they used it too, bro. I would not believe this shit.
Which I think is the best idea they've had thus far. Getting her on the team will increase their chances of finding a cure significantly.
But like, there's a problem.
Twilight goes ahead.
What if she used it too?
Bloom and Pinky to go along with her. But there is still one glaring issue remaining. Fluttershy has been locked in one of the rooms all day and is refusing to come out. And when Pinky goes to the door, we learn that Shy believes that she is actually at the 3rd stage of the infection, saying that she can feel the fungus in her brain. And she is staying in a room because she doesn't want to endanger her friends. And while the other ponies,
if she was at stage 3, that was not. She wouldn't have any.
They quarantine for a few days.
Concerns, right?
Eventually, they give up and allow her to stay in the room, thinking that she'll eventually just come out on her own. But since the team doesn't actually believe that she's at stage 3,
because she would
go on with their day. With Twilight,
if she was at stage 3, she would become arrogant and try to come out and do some crazy actions like Rarity did, and some other people. But she actually not.
To head out and find
she didn't even look golden either way. So
we said that the ponies were able to find Zecora, and she is still healthy. Surprisingly, though, she has no idea what's going on with this fungus.
Shit, what do you mean surprisingly? She's literally living in a jungle.
Rhymes in his AU. Most don't actually take the time to do that. Unfortunately, even though Zecora is very knowledgeable about plants, she has never heard of this particular fungus. But she does have this bag full of plum tree seeds, which is a common antifungal. Zecora claims that if they plant these seeds, the plant that springs up will be able to freeze the fungus. And while the group tries to come back with them, she tells them all that she would rather stay in her home because she has all her potions and equipment here. And she's also managed to stay safe this whole time.
Yep, she's getting infected.
Feels like she can ride out this outbreak here. But just when she finished speaking, they hear some howling in the distance, and we learn that since it is a full moon tonight, a bunch of the timber wolves will be out in the woods. And
man, get the fuck.
Zecora insists that they stay at her place tonight. Now, while they are all hanging out with Zecora, we cut over to the other ponies, and we see that AJ and Dashy are checking out the local hospital. And I was surprised to see that it is mostly empty. I say mostly because as Dashy,
how the fuck are they have mouths on the mask?
Redheart come from behind this
Redheart, what the fuck is that?
For some water.
Oh yeah,
and it is clear that she is in the later stages of the infection and can't be saved. And once the girls see her, Dash immediately goes on the offensive and kicks Redheart out of the window.
Oh, damn.
And she immediately starts to gloat to AJ because she thought that Dash would freeze up.
She just wants some water. Couldn't you give her some water, you heartless bitch?
Out the window, she sees a whole group of infected.
Imagine you just asking for water and they kick you in your ass. Like, bro, what the heck?
Just
give me some water, man. Like, I didn't ask for too much. She
didn't
even ask to put on the makeup. She asked for some water.
She sees Redheart lying on the ground, and she uses her magic to lift her in the air. And while it's hard to tell exactly what she does here, I think that she turns Redheart into a puddle of fungus and basically absorbs her life force.
What the fuck just happened to Rarity? But she became a whole ass fucking supervillain. What? Yo, I gotta like it.
Puddle of fungus.
Damn.
And basically absorbs her life force.
God damn, bro.
Seeing this, AJ stops.
She just turned into a fucking supervillain.
Rarity looks up. And while it seems like they are still hidden, the ponies understand that it's time for them to get out of this hospital.
How the fuck are you gonna get out of there?
While that is happening, we get to see Fluttershy again, and it looks like she was correct about being infected. Unlike the other ponies, her makeup isn't coming off, and if we zoom in, we can see that her eyes are turning red. I also find it interesting that she believes that she can feel the fungus moving inside her. It seems like Spike was left behind to look after her, and we see him coming to the door.
Oh no, he's dying.
And ask who she's talking to. And of course, Shy lies, saying no one. Spike, not wanting to push her, leaves her food outside the door and lets her continue to be alone.
Do they eat?
The final panel of this chapter shows Shy's new stat sheet, and it doesn't show us the level of infection that she's at, but we do get to see that her stress level is almost at 100.
Trust is 5%, sanity 40%.
She won't be able to keep her mind for much longer.
Oh shit.
The next morning, we see Twilight's group leaving Zecora's home, and the last words that she has for them is to make sure they document everything they can about the infection.
Yeah, sure, if we live. What you mean document? We'll barely be able to stay alive. It's like these type of teachers in school, like your math teacher giving you homework, even though it might be the end of the world next week. So yeah, there is nothing you can do.
This outbreak. After that, the group makes it back home safely, and we see that AJ made it back home as well. And the ponies immediately start to plant the seeds that Zecora gave them.
So how long does it take them for them to actually grow up?
And I love how they all pitch in their own way, especially Dashy, who gets a rain cloud so that they can have water for the crops, and also drenching AJ in the process.
Oh, later it's like an actual episode.
Spike if Shy has come out of her room yet, and since he hasn't checked on her since yesterday, Pinky goes.
Oh no.
But when she calls out to her, there's no response. And feeling like something is wrong, they go get Applejack to see if she can open the door. And not wanting to waste any time, AJ just kicks the door open, and all they see is an empty room and an open window.
My gosh, she joined the crew. She joined the fucking golden crew.
Take care of all her critters, and they head over to her place.
No, she did not go there.
And while the inside of her house is empty, they can hear noises coming from the backyard. And when they open the door, they see that all the critters are covered in the makeup. And based on the looks on their faces here, the ponies understand that Shy really is infected. But even more pressing is the fact that Shy tells her animals to attack them. And this bear looks like he can put up a pretty dang good fight. Luckily, the ponies...
Nah, just magic. Snap magic is an ass away. And what the fuck is Twilight doing right now?
Trying to figure out why...
She literally... Oh my god. Remember that episode where Trixie came in and apparently she took care of a fucking... I don't know... Bitch was like a bear. that was like the size of the entire city, basically. I don't know the fucking animal name, but she took care of it like a fucking, if it was fucking child's play. She can't take care of a fucking bear?
Shy is
Bro,
still
what is happening?
But ultimately, it doesn't matter, and they decided
to
capture
what
her
the
and
fuck
bring
is
her
going
back
on?
with them if possible. Remember
Lock in. Twilight, lock in. Come on.
As much about this fungus and the infected
Oh,
ponies as they can.
she is, yeah.
So still in her resolve,
bugging.
we see Twilight step outside and yell out that there are 4 uninfected ponies here that could really use the Midas touch. And like a moth to the flame, Shy comes immediately, flying through the open door and right into the trap that the pony set up for her. In between AJ's flash work and Twilight's magic, they have her contained pretty good. Now, as they're heading back home, they're trying to think of possible ways that they can keep her contained without hurting her. But what is more important is when they bring
there's this thing called a cage.
While they want to save her as well, AJ brings up the fact that Rarity seems to be a leader.
What's the fucking point? Like, in the next 2 days, she's just gonna, you know, turn into that fungus thingy or like a fucking total puddle of fungus. So what's the point? I mean, she's already at stage 3, and you did say that they can't be saved. So what is the point? Just let her go, man.
And she also confirms that Rarity has the ability to suck the life out of the other infected, which means
she can suck my dick if she wants to.
And they'll probably have to hold off on trying to save her. The next chapter shows the ponies back home, and they are using the leaves from the plum tree to make a potential cure. I find it kind of funny that Pinky has turned into a full-blown chemist at this point, putting some of her baking skills to use. The result is this pink powder that Pinky has named plum sugar. It seems like they didn't immediately use the powder on Fluttershy, but instead continue scouting for more information. And this is when we see Rainbow find this infected pony crawling on the ground, pleading for help. And while Rainbow is wary at first, she changes her mind when the infected pony offers her a notebook that has a way to save the town. Not wanting to pass up this chance, Rainbow takes the little pack that has the book inside and heads back to the other ponies to tell them about this encounter. And while AJ doesn't trust this newcomer, Twilight wants to go meet her, and they decide to bring her back to the farm and place her in the quarantine, hoping that it isn't too late to save her. Now,
it is too late kind of to save her. I'm not gonna. I can feel it.
Over to the basement and that little fungus that was growing inside, and this is so much worse than I was
expecting.
Oh my
god! How the fuck is it?
Fungus has grown deep into the earth, and now it's traveled its way over to the orchard, turning all the apples golden. And while I don't think that any of the ponies
this is the end of the world. What is happening?
You sure about that?
It is still a huge source of food that has been taken away, which is one of the most important sources in any outbreak. The next chapter starts with this letter directed to Princess
Turn into an actual puddle of shit,
asking them to come to Canterlot for a super special wedding gift. And I'm happy to see that Cadis and Shining Armor are smart enough to understand that Luna and Celestia definitely didn't write this letter. But also realizing that something may have happened to them and that they need to get to Canterlot soon to check and see if they're okay. Back over at the bar,
there's some crazy shit going on out there.
Gear because she's getting ready to go into Fluttershy's cell and use the plum sugar on her.
Damn.
For a moment, it looks like it may have worked, but then Fluttershy reverts back to her crazy self, asking for Golden Gleam.
Anyway, this was the, you know, the shiny golden infection AU type of shit. So I did say I wasn't gonna put 2 parts in it instead of, you know, putting all in 1 part because it's like shit's like 54 minutes, obviously. But I'm just gonna say thank you guys for watching. If you like it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and probably wait for the next video. That the next video is gonna be tomorrow apparently, and it's gonna be the 2nd part. So stay tuned. But I'll see you guys in the next video next day. Peace.